In this video, I want to discuss a little bit more in detail about object inheritance and prototype, basically. So, like we discussed in the last video, right? So, for example, this is an object. All right, let's give it a different color this time. Um, let's say this is our object one. All right. Now it has, say, two properties, right? It has let's say two properties. One of them is property 1, whose value is 1, 2, 3, and the other is property 2, whose value is xyz, right? So this is what it looks like, right? What if I create another one of these objects and I say that, hey, this new object is going to be object 2, and this object should technically be inherited from object 1, which basically means that it should also have similar properties in these structures. So it could be property 2 and property 3, or property 3 and 4, all right, which have similar values, let's say 4, 5, 6 and PQR, right? So what I'm saying is it follows the same structure, all right, and there's a 1:1 correlation between the properties of the objects, all right? So in this situation, this is object 2, all right, and if I have to say it is a prototype of something, all right, so if I say what is the prototype of this, all right, then it is object 1, right? So object 1 is the prototype of object 2, right? So how do you actually work with this, right? Actually, before that, let's understand something. JavaScript is a object-oriented language, right? That's one. So it, like, even the primitive values, something like a string, it's kind of like an object, right? Or at least that's what I understand. And you see objects operate this way, and you are saying that all objects have some prototype, right? So what if object 2's prototype is object 1? Then what is the prototype of object 1? So if I say this, for example, if I have to put it into language, so object 1 dot prototype is, sorry, object 2 dot prototype is object 1, right? And if I am saying that object 1 dot prototype, what is it, right? So it is something called object dot prototype, right? So I think this is built in inside JavaScript, that's the prototype of based on which the first objects will be created in your program, right? So let's say, okay, so basically I can type this as object 2 prototype is object dot prototype. What if I say object dot prototype? What is the prototype of this? So apparently the answer is null. There is no prototype to object dot prototype, right? So you can chain this like this: object 2 prototype. This is object 1. I add another prototype. This is object dot prototype, and another prototype. This is none, right? So That is how prototypes work. But yeah, apparently there's no coding syntax that says that you can write this and this will work. This is just for visualization purposes, right? But you can do something like this. Let's erase this. All right. Let's say const a equals. All right. I'm defining a new object here. N1 is 1, N2 is 2. All right. And this is based on a proto or the prototype which says N3 sorry, N2 is 3. These should be commas actually, sorry. N2 is 3 and N3 is 4, right? Now, if I go and say console.log a, right? A.n1 and then console.log a.n2, console.log a.n3, right? What do you think the response would be? So the response would be n1 is 1, n2 is 2, n2 is n3 is n3 n3 is 4, right? So if I go here and I go to my document, I'll reload, inspect, console. So you'll see 1, 2 and 4. This 3 is not coming because 3 belongs to the proto, right? And I have changed the prototype's value here as n2 equals 2, right? And n3 is defined as 4, but n3 is not here in A, so that is why it's considering n3 as 4, right? But what you can see is you can go to properties of your prototypes because they are based as values in the original one. So if I just go back, right, so we had something called John and Jenny here, right? So we had a rabbit proto type white, right? Let's say I add one more value here, something like let's say style is equal to sassy, right? And I'm saying John is going to refer to rabbit prototype. So now John's prototype is basically rabbit proto, all right? And John's type is black, all right? But we have not defined John's style, right? But what if for Jenny we define a style, we'll say shy, right? Now we'll console.log John.style and Jenny.style, right? So as I said, we have not defined John's style. So where will it bring style from? It should go and pick the style from rabbit proto. But Jenny's style is defined as shy, right? Right? So Jenny's style should not come from rabbit proto because it's already changed. So if I save it and I reload, as you can see, John's style is sassy and Jenny's style is shy. So as you can see, like, you are getting to refer to the prototype's values as long as you have not changed them, right? But you inherit all the properties that are there in the proto, all right? So yeah, that's the idea, and I thought that this was an interesting topic. uh, not sure where the use case will be, but we'll figure out. apparently it's a very important topic, and I think, yeah, definitely I should practice it a lot more. So I'll do that. See you in the next video.